So in the first place, I think that transhumanism is a very new and innovative idea that can be somewhat dangerous, and we need to measure it carefully and not just follow this creative instinct we have towards progress. Now, we still want change and we have to have a burning desire for improvement, but we still have to have in mind what are the priorities in life. So each person is basically composed of the body and the mind. Now, I don't want to go on to dualistic sort of discussions, because in my opinion everything is sort of one system that controls each other and aren't independent and send feedback messages in order to cope with the environment. But that's a whole new conversation. The point of this distinction is to understand how much knowledge we have of each of these components. Now, a lot of scientific studies have been focused now on the mind and sort of personality, nervous system, brain, emotion, individuality, identity, consciousness, etc. And the truth is, a lot about this mental state isn't known, and a lot of people suffer from mental disorders, but we can't really help them because we don't have any cures for it. But the physical nature is dramatically different. We know a lot about how our bodies function, how the systems cope with each other, how they are stressed under different environments and influenced by different sort of behaviors. We know more or less the most common attacks to these systems, exactly how to cure it. So I think it is easier in terms of the transhumanist view to focus firstly and mainly on this body. I think we need to try to enhance our physical capacities, make us more able to do things rather than change our inner core, change this mind, this brain that is intertwined with our body. So my main idea here is to fight for transhumanism to be more of a therapeutic use. There is already a lot of debate about gene cloning. A few years ago, probably a decade, when after Dolly and everything, we had this major discussion if we should clone human beings. And it's ethically immoral for us to do so. But there is, in my view, there is no sort of problem with cloning genes in order for us to reach therapeutic effects, for us to create organs and substitute them in bodies of sick people who have cancer that has spread in this major abdomen area, and they have their liver affected and intestine and stomach and everything, and they still are mentally capable and they still have a lot to give to the world, but somehow this abdomen problem isn't making it possible. So why not use this therapeutic effect by just cloning a few genes, growing some tissue in culture and substituting it? So I think that transhumanism can just bring this genetic sort of biological culture a step further, and maybe by introducing robotics and nanotechnology we could make it much more easier, and make it quicker, make it faster, more efficient, more accurate, and in the end our physical nature would be close to perfect. I think how good would it be for us to have perfect eyesight, perfect hearing, multiple language skills, in terms of eating and our internal system, in terms of nourishing and getting the nutrients, making this system more efficient, so we could get the vitamins and neglect more the fats and etc. So just by changing a bit of the internal system of our stomach and intestine absorption, we could increase our healthiness, and also increasing our senses, like I've mentioned, the eyesight and vision, but also touch and precision with our finger movements and limb movements. I think enhancing this would really give us a good insight into the world, and no need for those obvious impairments that everyone suffers with. Most people wear glasses, most people don't hear everything, and you have some days where you're more tired to move yourself around. So if we could just, get over that, it would be great. And then take it a step further, and people who have strokes and burned arms and limbs that were cut out in accidents and brain lesions on the outer side of the skull, not probably inside, if we could somehow manage to just cover that all up and make this box, this individual box of every person resistant and powerful and very able to do things and to move fast, and somewhat immune to diseases and damage, then I think we would become greater individuals with more potential. So I've mentioned before that we have two parts to ourselves, the body and the mind, and now I've just sort of discussed about the body. And because they are so related and so connected and dependent upon each other, once we change the body, we are going to change the mind as well. And this is the part I'm most skeptic and in a way most scared of. How much will we as individuals change? How much are our core values and our own personalities and individuality, our identities, how is this all going to change in society? How are we going to manage to cooperate with other people when everyone is so efficient and great? But there is something really obvious here to state. By making our bodies so perfect and so capable, we automatically increase our life expectancy. Now, at first it seems really great to live longer and to be able to do so many more things, but I don't know how, as human beings, we will be able to manage to live a very long life. First of all, and very obviously, there is this huge problem about overpopulation. But secondly, let's just focus a bit on who we are as individuals and how we manage to live a life that has a sort of 80-year life expectancy. I don't want to make this very methodical, but there are somewhat a variety of people, but somewhat predictable. And at the present time, we have people who commit suicide. And we have people who are entirely happy about their lives and would like to live more and would like to do more things. And then we just have the people that don't really have much desires or hopes or wishes or dreams. Now, with these three sort of main groups, we can actually predict how living a longer life will be. There will still be suicide, and there will still be people who want to live even longer and who keenly and actively enjoy life, and there will be this majority of people who just are and don't have many desires.